Taniguchi-san, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, bonjour.
Bonjour. You represent Chugai today. We talk about maybe innovation in the pharmaceutical industry. Right. So historically, pharmaceutical industries in Japan was not exporting that much compared to other industries. Exactly. And now this seems to be changing and they are trying to become global. Right. How have you seen, with your experience, the pharmaceutical industry globalizing from Japan?
It's an interesting question, but it was always a big challenge to a Japanese pharma company because the market of Japan was so big, so huge. So Japanese pharma company could survive only relying in the Japanese market. But now, future growth comes from ex-Japan. Unfortunately, the pricing of the drug in Japan is not necessarily very active compared to that of the United States or other part of the world. So we need to expand anyway. Yeah, we need to grow further throughout the international presence.
So we saw there was in Japan a balance between universities, pharmaceuticals, and ministries that would refund, as you said, the drug quite generously. So this balance now is over. How do you view this balance reforming with universities having funds and yourself?
That's an important point because those triangle collaboration across those three players are still critical in new drug creation. Always the seeds of the new drug come from academia, so we need to be close to academia by any means. And the government also provide important financial and non-financial support to academia. So closeness across those three players is still critical. And I understand Japanese government has started a new initiative of so-called drug ecosystem, revitalizing Japanese ecosystem across those three players. So it's important. I think the situation is changing right now, even in Japan. So government is very much in favor of nurturing biopharma industry overall.
We saw during COVID that very small players played a critical role, like Moderna and others, in an alliance with big groups. How does this affect Japanese pharma industry?
So Japanese pharma industry now realize the importance of collaboration, partnering with the company with excellent technology. Not necessarily big pharma. Even the biotech or small startup, that may come up with a great innovative technology. How to internalize, how to get access to those innovative technology possessed by other companies. That is key challenge for Japanese company to in future survive. Yeah.
If we talk a bit about Chugai, so Chugai started a Chugai Venture Fund, true. Which is still quite small, I understand, but it's still strategic, very strategic for you. Please explain to us.
So it is one of our efforts to expand the source of drug discovery, innovation. How we can access to the great local talent, or how we can access to a great local startup. That is very important strategic priority. We cannot rely only on internal resource in terms of drug discovery capability. We wanted to access to the great a local biotech in the Boston area, because Boston is now very important hub of drug discovery ecosystem. So this is important access point for us, as long as we keep some presence locally there in Boston area.
What are the main, you would say, areas that will develop in the future in terms of drug development?
So we have three categories of the modality in the drug discovery platform technology. One is traditional small molecule. We have good foundation in small molecule technology as well, but Chugai's strength is in antibody technology. It's more like biologics approach. So this is a differentiating point for Chugai. So we are gearing toward more resource allocation to antibody and biologics. But on top of that, those two, Chugai is now coming up with so-called mid-size molecule technology. It's in between small molecule and antibody. But this, mid-size technology has two good aspects of, small molecule and antibody. So we are now having three different modalities. I think it's a balanced approach, but we, allocate our resource in, those three areas in, balanced way.
So maybe one last question about society, health cost, and pharmaceutical. Of course, the health costs are rising because of aging society, and the development costs are also rising. How do you think is a good way to balance these two issues?
That's an important question as long as pharma company wants to exist and further grow. Because society, we live in a society, we live in a big, planet, and we have to be mindful in sustainability and social wealth. Otherwise, we cannot survive. So important balance is required these days. So we definitely pay attention to all those sustainability agenda, including carbon gas issue, and also we are paying attention to so-called access to medicine, another name, global health. Disparity between developing countries and developed country is not tolerable these days. So we need to pay attention to the wealth of developing countries or unprivileged countries. So that's very important agenda for us. Otherwise, we cannot be a good citizen of big society.
Thank you very much.